So it's time to kick off some of these late 2022 reviews, and we have to start off with the iPhone 11. This is easily one of my most favorite iPhones Apple has ever made, and I still think it's an incredible device for sure. Now, I don't want to just hit on the basic stuff you all know, the 6.1-inch display, the dual cameras, the battery, the build quality. We all kind of know how this iPhone still is kind of, nothing really has changed in the body or hardware, but a lot of things have changed since my mid-2022 review of this thing, not even like 3 or 4 months ago. Now, the first thing and the biggest thing that's kind of changed is that this iPhone is no longer being sold brand new by Apple. So you can no longer go inside of, the Apple Store or apple.com. You can't go and buy these specific, devices from those websites anymore. So I think this is a 50-50. One, it's kind of sad that this iPhone is no longer being sold, but it's even sadder because the iPhone 11 was, at least up until this point, the last $499 phone you could have bought from Apple. So that in and of itself was actually pretty insane, and I'm really sad about it. You can still pick these things up on Amazon and, Amazon Renewed, which is really nice, but you just can't really buy them brand new anymore, which is very sad. So build-wise, like I said before, we already know, but this thing still feels very premium. In fact, I did compare it to the iPhone 14s that have just came out, and I'm still shocked by how good the iPhone 11 still holds up and feels, but I will say that display is starting to show its age for sure. When you compare it against the Super Retina XDR OLED display of the iPhone 14, it is kind of starting to show its age, so that is something that's kind of a disadvantage, but we do have to compare all aspects against the latest iPhone. And when I compare the iPhone 11 to the 14, I would say about 80% is very, very similar. We're still getting dual cameras, we're still getting the standard glass on the back, we're still getting like the aluminum sides, lightning port, pretty much there's a lot of overlap too, but the display is definitely better, as well as the side. The flat sides feel really good on the 14. This iPhone 11 was kind of the last one to have this curved side architecture, but regardless, still a decent phone in that standpoint. Now, I did install iOS 16, basically all the betas I installed in this phone and all the official versions so far, and it has definitely been getting better and better throughout each individual update. When the first update came out, battery life wasn't that great, performance really wasn't that great either, and there were lots of glitches, which is expected, but by the time the official version came out, it was at I would say it was at much more of a stable situation than maybe the first official version of iOS 15. So I'm happy to see that. Since then, a lot of people have complained about glitches within iOS 16 on a lot of different iPhones, not just this one, but I will say throughout time, I'm hoping by, June of next year when iOS 17 comes out, I'm hoping this thing will be at a very good stable spot for iOS 16, so then people can go and upgrade and kind of, move on from there. So personally, that's something I'm really looking forward to with the iPhone 11. And, because the iPhone 11 is basically like third in line for it being discontinued with software, I'm pretty sure this thing is still going to be supported for the next 2 to 3 years. So not much is going to change there. Now, performance-wise, I did compare it against the iPhone 14s, and this phone definitely was slower than the iPhone 14s in pretty much every test I threw it at. Not only was it, camera quality wasn't as great and different things like that, but, I will say it's still a decent phone for how old this phone is. For 3 years old, over 3 years at this point, it's not a bad phone, and I think a lot of people probably would feel the same exact way. So I will tell you, if you have an iPhone 11, going into the later part of 2022, this phone is now discontinued. This phone has gotten the next version of software, the next iPhones have came out, and I will say, if you still own it, I will say keep it. There's no point in upgrading from 11 to the 14. Maybe if you want to go to the 14 Pro, go for it, but I would say the 11 is still a very good iPhone, and I would say if you still own it, I would recommend keeping it for sure. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.